Hey Royals, welcome into another episode of Building a Program with Coach KT. KT, the show has progressed. I mean, look, we're in the TV studio now, but welcome in. We're going to talk about the suite you just had at Averett. Your alma mater, so I know that's a little bit bittersweet there for you playing them, but this is your second time playing them and you swept them both times. Let's kind of get into that game real quick. 3-0 team. You know, the first set was back and forth, but then they came out and really took control of the game. Talk about your team's play.
Yeah, well, it is always a little bit bittersweet to play Averett and see that goal across the court for me and not be on that side, but it was definitely good to come out with another win. Averett has progressed a lot this year, so it was definitely more challenging than it was for us the first time that we saw them play. And today, as you mentioned, or this past game that we played, as you mentioned, it was a lot more of a team effort than it has been. We had a lot of people contributing offensively that maybe hadn't been as big of pieces in the past.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the things we saw. I mean, Aaron's always going to get, you know, most of the time get his double digit. He had 10 kills, and Colby had the double-double again, which we think, talking right before we went on the air, is a school record anyway. But the play of Preston, Aubrey, Thaden got in again, got a kill. Everybody, Lucas was back in regularly. Just talk about the team as a whole. Those guys that normally don't get the press and the stats that were coming in, and because we talked to Aubrey and Preston after the game in the press conference as well.
Yeah, for sure. A lot of people are definitely starting to contribute more, and we're seeing that consistently at practice as well. Like Preston has been going off a little bit consistently at practice, which we love to see. Aubrey has been huge, especially stepping in that role when we had Lucas out for a while, and I think it's a really good thing to see, especially as we get to the back part of the season. It takes a little bit of pressure off Aaron to know that maybe if he doesn't have a great game, like we can still come out with a win because everybody else is contributing. And our boy Thaden, we've talked about this, Thaden is actually hitting 1,000 on the season, which is wild.
Well, you know, it's funny, Hannah, who does our spotting for us when I'm doing the stats, I think I told you this, I leaned over to her and said, so how long until the Thaden chants start? But not only the Thaden chants start, you had Colby chants, you had Preston chant. They really showed up there midway through that first set. The place got loud, people had signs. Talk about the support that the team's been getting at home. I mean, it's been incredible.
Yeah, it's definitely been super surprising seeing so many people come out. It's our first year, we don't have that many home games. And we've seen consistently large number of fans every day. And when we saw the signs out there and we heard people chanting for Preston and for Thaden, it was great. And it definitely contributes to having a lot more positive atmosphere in the gym. We are working really hard to control the energy on the court for us. But then when we have the fans out there contributing to help us have positive energy in the gym as well, that's huge.
All right, so talked about the game, 3-0. Got a tough one coming up. It's senior day. Talk about Aaron Campbell. Unfortunately, we only have him for one season, but we'll get into a little bit more of that on senior day. But I do want you to talk about his, you know, how you've benefited from him. Not only that, he volunteers as on your women's staff for the women's team. But talk about what Aaron's meant to Region Volleyball.
Aaron Campbell has been a huge piece, definitely from the girls' side, but from the guys' side as well. He's been just a leader on and off the court. He loves the Lord, and he holds the guys to a really high standard while loving them through things. And I think, you know, he's meant as much to them off the court as he has been on the court, which is huge because he's, you know, been a National Player of the Week twice. He's contributing. So he's doing the things and showing them how to do it while helping them be accountable. He's meant so much to Regent Volleyball, and we're going to miss him, but I do think that we'll see him around still for sure.
Oh, absolutely. And let's, you know, talk about National Player of the Week. Aaron is number 3 overall nationally in kills and 2 in total points. I mean, he is, when people think of Regent Volleyball, they think of Aaron. You know, Aaron and Colby, but Aaron has really, I think him being on our team and has elevated the face of our program because he's well known here in the area. So I think that's really important. Now, we talked about the fans. We need everybody out there. It is a blackout at 2 o'clock because you're playing Randolph. You went down, what, 2-0 against them at their place in Lynchburg, fought back, won the 3rd and 4th sets, and then lost in a heartbreaker in the 5th. They just took Wesleyan, who's one of the really great teams here in the area, 3-2 to 5 sets. Talk about why those fans are needed and what you can expect from that game at home as our last home game of the season.
Yes, this one is going to be huge for us. So guys, come out, support us, wear black, be loud. It's a really big game. So we had the not home court advantage, and we still almost reverse swept them at their place when we played them earlier on in the season. We are a lot more established in just being disciplined and playing our style of volleyball now. So I think this is going to be a really good match. I don't know which way it's going to go. Of course, we're hoping that it's going to go our way, and we're going to work hard and be prepared to get that victory. But it's going to take a lot from us, and it'll help if we get a lot from the fans as well.
All right, last thing, your assessment. We're winding down. After we got 4 games counting this one left. Right now you're 8-9, trying to get those double-digit wins, maybe over 500 for the year. But your assessment so far as we get into the home stretch of the season, first-year program, have you exceeded expectations? What are your thoughts as a coach with it? I know nothing ever hits your expectations, but where are you with this team and being at 8-9 at this point?
So we're really close to meeting our goal. Most of the time when we come in, we set our goals at the beginning of this season. Of course, we want to be above a 500 team, and one of the goals that we set for this team is we're working really hard. We want to go to nationals, and we know it's a first-year program, and that's a really hard thing to accomplish. But one of the things that I think I'm known for talking about with my teams is if you set a low ceiling, you're going to hit a low ceiling. So we tried to set a really high ceiling for this team, and they're working really hard and are fully bought in. Even though we had that little bit of a stretch where we maybe weren't being as successful, like we were learning to overcome adversity and becoming more resilient. So the guys are definitely working to achieve the things that we work to achieve, and I've been so pleased with them. They've grown so much in the game. We had kids that had never played organized volleyball before, Chris, and you can't tell the difference really between them and the kids that had played for most of their life. So we're so proud of them and the growth. And just like the bonds that they formed, they talk about how it's a brotherhood, and it's just been a really special thing to be a part of.
All right, well, we're going into game number 18, and I'm going to say this is the biggest game of our season, going against Randolph. Be there. Blackout, senior day for Aaron Campbell. Come support this team. They deserve it. Make it loud. Make it hard for Randolph to hear themselves do anything. KT, thanks again. We got a couple more episodes of this Building a Program, but thanks for joining us today. As always, go Royals.